What is the fate of airline in Nigeria? Critical as the airline industry is, foreign airlines in Nigeria are suffering untold hardship, while the Nigerian counterparts are in worse agony. We all bear testimony to the various failed efforts of government to birth a national carrier after murdering the one-time success of Africa, the Nigeria Airways, and the latest controversy about Nigeria Air. Nigeria Airways, Chris Oligbe, where are you? Chris, Nigeria Airways. ICRC submitted that government does not have shares in the business, whereas we're told there's 5% shares of government. 46% Nigerian people, giving us 51 and 49 for strategic partner. My question is, since the government has no shares in the business, why midwife such a critical and sophisticated sector? When government is divesting from social basic needs such as food production, housing, power, health, and education. You are allowing private sector to produce food. Why do you want to start airline? But of course the Nigerians say Nigerian people want national carrier, and that's what you got. Private sectors standing in the gap are discouraged due to lack of necessary support and the will by government. The blackmail is that they will disgrace the flag, whereas they've been flying the flag across the nations of the world. This is not a fresh story. I can tell you my experience as Executive Director of Bellevue Airlines. Because we lost our brain, we lost a lot of money. The many airline failures of the past cannot be exonerated from poor government support. I can give you examples, but for time. I remember at the brunch, I was talking about Okada, the 747 that wasted on our tarmac, because they said private sector can't do it. Bellevue Airlines tried until they got Sierra Leone endorsement and were flying under the flag of Sierra Leone. And Sierra Leone was in war. So when you fly to London, this is an airline from a war zone. Air Group Captain Jikutu, you knew all this. And so they lost a lot of their shares before they woke up, and they've lost a lot of money. The low-hanging fruit, like Alex said on the TV, London was deprived. The Nigerian political authorities seem to be paying a lot of attention to renovating airport infrastructure that is beyond economic repair, MD Airport.
Past and present.
Past and present, beyond economic repair, MMA should be scrapped. MMA 1 should be scrapped. It's a national disgrace. And adding non-functional ones, like the Chinese terminal. The Chinese terminal was built and the airlines rejected it. How come can we build airports without the input of MDs, and the aircraft could not park, and their wings are going to be eaten? Some airports were built and they obstruct control tower. How can we explain that? I said, though desirable, but to the detriment of airlines who use infrastructure. Foreign airlines home remittance remain a huge challenge, and will only get worse with the floating dollar exchange rate, if not quickly cleared. Airfares will continually soar, reaching all-time high levels. I saw the intervention of Dangote Cement yesterday in the news, that Dangote Cement gave Ethiopian Airlines, is it 100 million in exchange for their excess, whatever. I don't know how true that. Look at the data I'm showing here on that statistic. 2019, 2022, 2023, booking volume from Nigeria. Half year, you will see by June this year, booking volume of Nigeria collapsed by 35%. We were losing business, and Nanta will bear me out. Booking volume dropped up to 55%, whereas Côte d'Ivoire, Cameroon, and Senegal, they are capturing all the business because the foreign airline funds are here. I'm trying to criticize the suffering of the airlines, both national airline and international airline. Nigeria Airlines remain very small and highly fragmented. I got this from AON. Look at our aircraft fleet. The biggest airline is Air Peace. Aricare, 17. I don't know if those 17 are operational. Maxair, 13, 7. Go down. And look at an airline, Green Africa, 3 aeroplanes. Our 11 airlines in Nigeria fly 104 aircraft. That 104 aircraft is less than Ethiopian Airline, 144. So, how can our airline compete effectively? With one airline in Africa with 104, 144, our airlines put together 104. I put a challenge here. Competing out there will be a Herculean task without collaboration, cooperation, and or merger. I've been singing this song. Alan, hear me. Merger was successful in banking and should be successful in aviation. Dwelling on fleet size rather than share capital. In the banks, they use share capital. In the airline, it has to be fleet size. On-time performance of Nigerian airline is woeful and deplorable with an average of 61% delay, except IBOM Air, yet very far below acceptable world average. Sustaining a flight in a slot regime such as London, New York, Joburg, with such deplorable on-time performance will be practically impossible. Once you lose your slot, you lose that slot. It is not a discriminate against me that I can't fly to London. Can't keep your schedule, you lose that slot. Truth be told, this is either a reflection of inadequate fleet size, poor maintenance, and or inefficient workforce, outside the questions of weather and technical. Please show me the data. Let me speak to that data. The next slide. Go ahead. Next slide, please. This is the statistics I got, produced by NCAA. Our airlines in Q1, their delay record is 61%. That means almost all flights are delayed. And I saw one yesterday, the next slide, let me not bother you, that's 61%. The one yesterday said Air Peace, Max Air, top list of cancelled flights in Nigeria. Just see the record. This is not to embarrass the airlines. This is to tell us what to do right. And I said, this notwithstanding, we can make use of what we have to change the status quo. Permit me to again fly a kite. I'm flying a kite to you. Collaboration, cooperation, and or merger. By establishing two competing oligopoly. Babangida gave us NRC and SDP because we have too many political parties. And that was the most successful political experiment. He himself truncated it. Those two parties, we wouldn't have been in all these tribunal upon tribunal now. He truncated it. Therefore, I am suggesting two competing strong airlines. You have your One World, you have your Sky Team delivering sumptuous services all over the world. See the experiment I'm trying to propose for our players, our Nigerian airline. I am proposing 2 airlines. The name of those 2 airlines is Nigeria First. Nigeria First. Our flag is white and green. So Nigeria First, white, and Nigeria First, green. Those are 2 airlines. Alan is laughing already. And the first airline will be led by Air Peace because of the 30 aircraft. And I, in no order, put them together and they will have 51 aircraft. The second airline, go ahead, is led by Harry. I hope APCON is listening. It's led by Arik, because I'm in support of Arik till tomorrow. I told APCON, you have no business in our business. I've said it to them many times, and Okide said he wants to face me on TV. And I will face him if he's ready. 17 aircraft by Arik, if they are flying, plus all these airlines here, to give us 53 aircraft. These 2 airlines, we call them Nigeria First. They will maintain their identity. You don't have to go and quickly paint the color. Why are you laughing? And I remember in those days, you hear, this is Ghana Airways flight GH so. When you look at the tarmac, it is a Bellevue aircraft. And we're flying their schedule regularly. This is a starting point for you. You fly this, and government must designate these 2 airlines to all the destinations, domestic, regional, and international destinations. Today we have NACO, only 2 of them, and they are enjoying their oligopoly. When we have these 2 strong flag carriers, they must be intentional in turning Lagos to a West African hub. It is disturbed me that passengers still fly to Paris in order to come to Dakar. We must create a hub at Lagos Airport. I spoke to the past MD one day that if I'm a passenger, I am going to transit from domestic to international, or vice versa. I have to come out of the crowd, face that crowd, whether there is rain or there is no water, and make myself in the middle of that. That is not seamless. If it is not seamless, then hub is not possible. And a lot of people dread Lagos Airport. If I get to Lagos Airport, where do I connect to Port Harcourt? Where do I connect to Abuja? You have to come out. You can't find your way at the gate. Transit, transfer. So we must be deliberate. Lagos Airport must be deliberate, working with these 2 airlines. They are scheduled to make transit and transfer seamless. I submit that foreign airlines must be restricted to a single point of entry into Nigeria, destination of their choice. This will also enhance hub creation. The 2 airlines must be designated to all international destinations presently being serviced by foreign airlines. Airlines A and B, that is Nigeria First White and Nigeria First Green, their fleet together must reciprocate all the foreign airlines. If BA and Virgin, they are doing 15, the 2 of them must do 15. If the market size is 15, we divide the 15 to 2. The British will fly 7, the 2 Nigerian will fly 7. That's the way to go, so that we can rescue market from the foreign powers. We need to fly our own. We will need to establish a clearing house and clearing bank along IATA values for billing and settlement. Members and operational values with minimum standard must be clearly defined and midwifed by NCAA. Any one operational airline that cannot position its aircraft for flight due to technical hitch must give a reasonable notice to operations early enough to minimize delays, and such aircraft will be rerostered. Teething problems will arise, but not unsolvable, as members will be subject to IOSA and all necessary CAA oversight, if possible, European Air Safety Association, EASA oversight. This will result in efficient passenger delivery, increased load factor, economies of scale, cost reduction through common user fees, insurance premium, fueling, and handling. To the participating airlines, the political authority, NCAA, and all stakeholders, here's a food for thought. If we must challenge the status quo and truly birth flag carriers, we must not let the sleeping dog lie. Together, we can only get stronger and bigger, rather than our present small, fragmented, competing, and disunited operations, subject to various hostilities through predatory pricing and lack of necessary support by government at home and abroad.